hang on.
So funny. Okay. Did anybody else besides Megan and I think Amber did it too. Did you guys do Emily Gibson's Ignite Week training that she did at the beginning of January? I just happened to see her sharing about it on Facebook, you know, the whole repeat, 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 right? Like I saw her post about it over and over again. And so it was really a last minute whim that I signed up for it. And I did it last year too. But it is so, so good. And she does it every January. And so $24 for 3 days of training. And it's just so, so good. So when it comes around again, I would highly, highly encourage you guys to do it and to share with your teams. But she did 3 days of training. And so we'll break it down into these next 3 days: recruit, retain, duplicate. And so today we're talking specifically about recruiting, but it's so simple. And when I was listening to her training, like even me 7 years in, sometimes I'm like, what are my systems? I think I have systems. What are my systems? You know, and like her systems are like so stupid simple that's just so good for me. It was just so, so good. And so we're just kind of doing like a blitzy overview, Megan, kind of day one. Is that what we're doing? Okay. Like
Yeah.
she has a lot of like really, really neat just quotes that she got from different people and things like that. But one thing, so recruiting, a lot of that was talking about like, how do we recruit? Right, like it's having people see our stuff first. So that's why we do like the winning day every day, right? Like showing up consistently, because if people aren't gonna, like, a lot of recruiting is us going to people too, right? And she's still all about cold messages and things like that. But if we want people, when they think of Plexus, we want them to think of us, right? We don't want them to think of somebody else. You want them to think of your name. And so she talks about consistency being your superpower that you have. Consistency is my own personal power move of trust with myself. So that's your power move, is being consistent every day in and day out, showing up consistently day in and day out. And I don't know if Megan said, like, while we're talking, like, you guys just do your IPA. Like, you don't have to feel like you're just sitting, and you don't have to look at me. I'm not offended if you don't. um, and also when we post, we talk about this sometimes too. She had talked about, like, if you're insecure about your offer, if you're insecure about what we do, then it will come across in our posts and in our reach out. So we need to be like just ironclad sure of what we have to offer. Like we don't have to be insecure about it. You don't have to be insecure about it. Okay. So do you want me to just highlight like the 3 steps that she talked about, Megan?
Yeah, that would be great. I think the thing that we want everybody to feel empowered with as we go into the new year is that when you have a system or something, you just follow the system. You're not having to kind of recreate your own thing. You can just duplicate what's already set out there for you and what successful people are doing. It's just that they're teaching what they're doing in simple steps so that you and me and anyone else that we have on our teams can follow it. So it's very duplicatable. And I think that's the difference between someone that stays stuck and or versus someone that moves forward, because you basically have a system for each thing, and it takes the overthinking out, it takes the drama out, and it also takes, well, it is more efficient because you're like,
Right.
just follow the leader, follow the system.
All this stuff. Yeah.
She
And
said,
so, oh, did you
maybe
want to say
say
something?
just
Yeah, go
one
ahead.
little quote. She said, and this is what I thought was so impactful: the repetitions that systems will make you good. The rejection and failure of not getting the sale will actually make you great. I thought that was so, so good. So it's the systems, yes, you're following along, but then actually the failure, the rejection, when things don't go our way, that's actually the best coach out there. It makes us better.
You win or you learn, right? She says it over and over again. Okay, so the 3 steps to recruiting. So she's saying, okay, so they've seen something you've posted, or you've sent them a message that has them thinking something and enough to say, tell me more, right? So 3 steps. And she says, these are the steps you do every single time. They've seen something, they say, tell me more, or I'm interested in your post, or tell me more about whatever. This is the question that you ask. This is step 1, the question you ask, and the only question you ask every time. She says, you say, what interests you the most? That's the question we ask. And I literally just did this the other day. Someone had messaged me about the business. And so I was like, and then I was like, well, what interested you the most? Like, what made you think to reach out to me? Okay. So she says, that's the question, because this will identify what they really want. Don't assume you know what they want. So we don't know that and what interested her the most was the fact that I'm a Christian, and she likes my posts. And so she's like, you're a Christian, so I feel like I can trust you and I like what you share about. But then I had to ask her, well, what specifically that I share interests you the most? Because I needed to get it down a little bit more, whatever. And so then maybe they're gonna say, well, I'm really interested in energy and weight loss. Okay. So we have been trained so often the ATM method, right? You're going to add them to your testimony page. You're going to tag them. And then you're going to say, message me back once you read this and tell me what you think. Right. And she's like, do not do that anymore. And again, like this is Emily's system. So if you have a system that kind of works for you, but this made sense. She's like, she used the analogy of us, like we're driving in the car with them. Right. And if you're driving in the car with somebody, you kind of get somebody's undivided attention if they're in the car with you and they're driving, right? And you're having a conversation back and forth. And so she says, hey, I'm really interested in plexus. Well, what are you interested in most? I'm interested in weight loss and energy. So she's like, you don't kick them out of the car and go and put them in a new car on your testimony page. She's like, you go to the testimony page and you find a testimony that can relate to energy and weight loss and put it back in your chat thread with them. You keep them in the car, right? You send a story and you say, do you relate to this? Okay. And so that's step 2. You find the story and put it back in your chat thread and say, do you relate to this? And if they're like, no, not really, then you say, well, is there anything that you related to? And they might be like, yeah, I did. I could kind of relate to how like she's just tired all the time. So then Emily said, you go back and try to find another story that can relate a little bit more to her, right? Like, so try to narrow down to like kind of what, but you're finding the thing, you're finding the story and giving it to them, right? Do you relate to this at all? Remember, the story you're sending needs to show proof that whatever it is you're selling fixes or gives results for what interested them most, okay? And then if they say, yeah, I do relate to that, then you move to step 3 and you say, do you want to see what they used? So that's step 3, right? And when they say yes, you send a picture of one package with the pricing paragraph. And she gave do you want me to read the verbiage of the pricing paragraph, Megan? Okay, but do you see the simplicity of it? What interested you the most? You send the story. Do you relate to this? Yes, I totally do. Do you want to see what they took? Yes, I do. Then you give them a picture with the price. And this is the pricing paragraph that she talks about. She says, this is the pack you need and what most people choose. Maybe we can write it out somewhere. We can photocopy these 2. Maybe we could send this, like have Amanda, because she said we could share anything. Do you know what I mean? So anyways.
Is that a PDF?
Yep.
What was it, like a little clickable link? Oh, yeah. Well, we can just get it uploaded. I know she did say like share it.
Share it. Because there's like 4 little pages that would be super helpful. That's got the exact verbiage, like for the objections and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the pack you need and what most people choose. It's $109 right now with shipping and tax and everything, but it's normally $135. And it will help you get energy, lose weight, blah de blah, when taken consistently, so your body can feel the best it's ever felt. You're saving $40 when you order this month, and you're getting membership for only $10. Normally it's $49.99. You're also getting a free product that's worth blah de blah too, if that works. They give the kit to you a discount your first month, but they've made it even bigger this month. And then if you stick with the basic things after the first month, it's only blah de blah plus shipping and tax after that. It will fix all of your issues and give you instant results. I wouldn't say it will give you instant results, but what do you think? So she gives like the exact verbiage, which we can share. Mm-hmm. And then she goes on, and if they say, yeah, sign me up. This is what Emily says. You do not send a share a cart to them. You say, great, what's your phone number? Can I give you a call? Scary, right? But that's what she says, because she said, again, if you build a cart for them, then you've lost control. You've given control to them. And then you're waiting on them to maybe or maybe not click the share a cart button. You're waiting on them to maybe or maybe not get distracted. And so she's like, great, what's your phone number? And you call them right then. And so how many of you guys do that? I'm trying to get better at it, but man, not great at it. And then if they have objections, do you want to cover the objections, Megan? Do we want to do that today? She gives like
sure.
the 4 main objections and how we can overcome them.
Sure. Yeah, that would be great. Does anyone have any questions popping up?
Well, can I just tell you real quick, like what I did, because everybody is asking you to like type out the things. if you just go like to your notes on your phone and hit the microphone when Amy or Megan reads it, it will type it into your notes for you and you already have it. So you don't have to like type it all out. So anyway, that's what I did during the training. So I didn't have to like retype everything that she said.
That is
Oh,
very smart.
that is very smart.
Amy, can you do it one more time?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So this is when they say, do you want to see what they, when we say, do you want to see what they took? And they say, yes. You send them a picture of one package with this pricing paragraph. This is the pack you need and what most people choose. It's 109 right now with shipping and tax and everything, but normally it's 135. And it will help you lose inches, lose weight, have added energy, whatever you want to say in that paragraph. So your body can feel the best it's ever felt. You're saving such and such amount of money when you order this month, and you're getting membership for only $10, normally $49.95. You're also getting a free product that's worth $35. They give the kit to you at a discount your first month, but they've made it even bigger this month. And then if you stick with the basic things after the first month, it's only $125 plus shipping and tax after that. It will help to fix your issues and give you results if you stick with it over time. What do you think?
Over to D7A. If you could please switch over to D7A, and I will call
Oops.
for attention. Thank you.
Whoa, who's talking? Oh, there we go. Mute it. Well, I think one thing is just edit the pricing because that's different now.
And there's not always a free product.
Right. Yeah. So obviously tweak it.
Yeah.
Well, and the specials right now are the free slim that we're trying to get everybody to do the Rolls Royce package to do the reset and the triplex with the balance, and then you have to add the bag of free slim or add the bag of slim and then do the free slim promo code. So that's what my friend and I have been getting people signed up with for her gym, through her gym. And so anyways, just FYI, it is a little bobbly because it's not a welcome pack. It's not the normal path you go. And to actually go onto this Plexus Worldwide website and scroll down to you see that special combo. There's two special combos. One is a reset triplex with a free balance. It will not give you the free balance if you're like in the welcome pack selection and you select the welcome pack that's the triplex reset welcome pack. You have to actually select the specific January combos that are on the main front page and then follow the path from there. It's a little different of a process, and so it feels like you're not signing them up as a VIP, and it doesn't always kick out a subscription to subscribe to. So just FYI, be mindful. I don't know if y'all have had issues, but we've navigated it a few times, and it's like, whoa, this looks different than normal.
So I've done that with 2 people this month too. Are you recommending they do a welcome pack next month, or I know we're kind of moving away from welcome packs.
Well, because your BBBs are higher with, a larger pack it could be a larger welcome pack, but there is BBB given off of the percentage of the PV. So if you're selling people like, a $200 pack versus a 124 welcome pack, your BBB is higher. So
You still get a BBB.
You get a BBB on everything.
It just doesn't come through as a BBB.
If you look at
you do?
report,
not even.
Yeah, if you look at your commission report, each person, it'll actually have their name and the amount that you earned off of their package, and also retention wise. Also, you get retention bonuses for people that reorder.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. Any other questions?
Before Megan talks about the objections, she's saying, just one second.
I don't think I have the objections actually in my notes.
Oh, she's saying, when you call, like when they give the information to call them, she's like, if you call them and they don't pick up the phone, she's like, back in Messenger, you say, hey, I just tried to call you. are you free right now? So she's kind of bold about it, you know, she's like, and they know that you just were talking to them. So obviously like they know that you know that they're there, you know? And so so call them back. And then she's like, if they say no, they're not available, then you say, no problem, you can send it here and I'll put the information in for you super fast. And so she's like, don't make a cute little graphic. She's like, she's like, because people love to fill in the blanks. So that's when you ask for those 6 things. We always need 6 things from people, right? Their name, their phone number, their email address, their home address, their birthday, and their credit card information. So she's like, but don't make it all cute. Just ask for it. So just send it as a copy and paste.
I think I appreciated the efficiency of what she does, and she has kind of the psychology of selling down. And so it's like you move them through the steps as quick as possible and in a tight time, as tight of a time space as possible. And I started doing her system because she and Brooke taught this a couple of years ago, and so I started getting everyone on the phone once that we were to a certain point of like I had recommended they were interested, their game. Then I'll just say, hey, let's hop on the phone really quick. Shoot me your phone number, and it'll be just easier to chat on the phone. Do you have like 10 minutes? And then that's what I do. And then, like she said, if it doesn't work, then sometimes I'll just say, well, hey, if you feel comfortable, just text me. Here's my phone number. Just text me your info, and I'll pop the order in for you real quick. So it works. I don't know. You just have to be bold and be okay that you're selling something, you're helping people get started, and that is the goal. That is the goal.
And she talked extensively about, and I have seen this true time and time again for me when I've done it, is that she's like, you miss a key piece of oh, what's the word she used? Just when you're on the phone together, like trust building, camaraderie, rapport, where you're able to find common ground. And she's like, so while you're putting in all their information, she's like, you're finding common ground with them. You can find common ground with a tree, you know, you find common ground with them. And, oh, my mom has the same birthday as you, whatever. But she's like, that's when you gradually and very naturally, from while you've recruited them and now you're signing them up and you're focusing on retention, you're talking about, you know, consistency, 60 days, all of that, but you're naturally progressing to the duplication, because that's when you're naturally having the conversation about, hey, why don't you put a little post up on Facebook? You know, would you be game for putting a little post on Facebook where, you know, you just tell your people, like, this is what I'm doing. And she's like, and you do it like you're having this conversation while you're signing them up. And she's like, you know, I can even give you the verbiage right now. I'll text it to you right now while we're on the phone, you know? And they're like, now? And she's like, yeah, now. And she's like a little 2-liner. I'll give it to you. And she's like, and don't have them go find a cute picture of themselves. It gets all stressful. They're like, I'm still in my bed and I don't have time to take a selfie. I'll do it later today. She's like, no, let's do it right now. She's like, put it on Facebook in one of those colored boxes on Facebook that just says a little line. Do you know what I mean? So I thought that was so good too. Like, she's like, it's speed. You're kind of doing it like, do you know what I mean? And they're still in the car with you. And so she's like, do it right now while I'm on the phone with you. And then I'll hop over and I'll comment underneath it, you know? So I thought that was pretty smart.
I feel like she was saying, stop trying to automate everything. Don't automate it. Don't slow it down. And you have to keep it efficient and keep the connection. You have to, like, that's what the phone call is for, because you're connecting with them. And I think I have definitely shied away from that. I think maybe from a time standpoint, but I think that's the thing. It's like what we're learning in our book study, How to Win Friends and Influence People, is like we have to expend energy and love. It's serving people, and that's what it is. And so it's like me telling myself, quit being selfish with my time, quit being selfish with my energy, expend it, because that's where the connection happens. And when we try to automate it too much, then we lose it. You know, the share cart thing, which there's been too many bobbles for me to do that because there's been a lot of glitches with it. And so I think share cart is a great last ditch resort. Like if you have chatted and that, and then finally it's like, well, just throw it out there. maybe they'll click it and go order. But she's like, that's not the first step. That's not the first try. That's more like last ditch scenario, because you lose the connection.
She had 4 of the common objections, 4 of the most common objections. I can read them if you guys want to do your little notes section thing, or I mean, I feel like we could print these for people, but the first most common objection is I can't afford it. It's too expensive, right? And I kind of love how she's just like, oh my gosh, I know, but it is the most expensive, but it's also the best. It's the very best. And so she doesn't deny it. You know what I mean? She doesn't even do the whole like, well, it's an investment. And if you redirect money that you were already putting toward gas and or groceries and Dunkin', she's just like, I know it is, but it's the best. That's why I picked it, because I only want to put the best in my body. Most people feel the same way as you until they realize that nothing else is coming to save them, and buying the best ensures the fastest, most reliable results. Are you looking to get the fastest and most reliable results like I was? The answer, yes. You say, okay, then it sounds like you're ready to get started. Would you like me to get you all set up right now? So, and if they say yes, but, or I just can't, you keep them talking with this by bringing them back around to what they really want. Let me ask you this. You said that you wanted to get such and such results out of this. If I could guarantee that you would be able to achieve exactly what you want with this, would it be worth it to you to get started today? They will usually say yes, of course. And then you need to say that, okay, then what's holding you back from getting everything you want from this? What's still in your way? Keep them focused on what they really want, and that ordering your package or service is how they get it. They will continue to give you excuses, and you will continue to show them examples where they've given themselves permission to do these in the past. Look for ways to show them that they've had success before in other things and that this is no different. So that's that one. And bottom line, she keeps saying is she's like, listen for the excuses, but don't believe them, and keep them talking to you so that you can talk them through whatever it is that they're not giving themselves permission to buy. So second one is I don't have time. And she said, I felt the same way as you. Most people feel the same way as you when they get started too. But also what they find is that nothing's coming to save them. Year after year, they waste so much time not getting blank fixed in their life. And when they do this, they realize that they created more of that life they've always wanted by choosing this solution to what they're dealing with. The sooner you get started, the sooner you'll be able to be free of this holding you back and get what you really want. 3, I've done things like this before and they don't work. She says, I know, me too. In fact, I almost didn't try this because I'd done so many things like this that never worked. Insert examples of all the things you've tried before that didn't work, so they can see you've done a lot of the same things that didn't work for them too, and help them come to their own conclusions that this could work for them like it worked for you too. What's different is me. I know how to help and get you everything you want, and you won't stop until you have it. I'm here to help you. And then the last one is I need to talk with my husband or partner. And so I'm not, Megan, you can maybe talk about this, but she's really big on like, if he doesn't agree, it's okay. You can just sign up without asking him. And I was like, oh, that's just not how my family works. But she's like, what will he say? What's the most you spent without talking to him before? Have you ever had to make a decision without him that you knew you needed to do to make your life better? So kind of like ask forgiveness instead of permission. So you can do what you want with that one, I guess. But
Oh my. Yeah, I wouldn't say that to someone either, but
yeah,
you know, there's more than one way to chat with people about it. And
yeah,
I feel like when it comes down to it, if someone is not ready yet, then you pray and you're like,
yeah.
okay, well, it doesn't sound like you're quite ready yet. I don't actually want you to get started until you are 100% game for doing this, because it is a commitment and we want to make sure that you're ready to do this. So I just feel like it's helpful to hear how, like, just hear verbiage. I know I remember listening to a little video that Carissa did probably like 7 years ago, and it was called, she like just called them sound bites. And she just gave some specific little phrases, or some phrases not to say also, just because
Yes.
what we say matters. And there is a psychology to selling. And it's like, we can get better at having conversations. And I think some of us maybe have more skills in communication and conversation than others. And it's something that we can all be growing in. Like sometimes I've never even thought of saying something like that. But I feel like the longer I do this, the more I realize people view you as the expert, even if we don't want them to view us that way, they do. And when I go to someone that's selling something, like I want them to tell me, or even at the restaurant when I'm ordering food, okay, what's your most popular? Like basically, I'm overwhelmed with all of these choices. Just tell me like the top 3, and then let me choose. And so I feel like that's what our job is to basically listen to what they want, listen to what they're interested in, listen to what they need, and then make a recommendation. And so
Yeah.
this process works. The process works So it's like rinse, wash, repeat. If you're not doing this, start doing it and just practice, 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 practice.
And it's being bold too. Like she owns it, right? Like she just owns it. Like, this is what you need, and I can help you get there. I was just talking to a lady today that she's massively struggling with weight, and she's just been super inconsistent with everything she tried. And so I'm suggesting this ultimate weight loss combo, and I'm saying this is what you need, and I know that you'll be encouraged by it, and I know that I can help you get results. And it's an investment, but I'm telling you, this is like, essentially, stop griping about it and let me help you. And if you trust me, I can help you. You know, but she liked that. She was like, you're right. Okay. And I'm like that. I want someone, just tell me, you know, so tell me what you know. And even I really, really love, I used to be like, it's an investment for sure. It is. And in the beginning, I said, Kevin and I, we get dessert on dates, and we got a whole lot less Dunkin'. But I even like her verbiage even more of like, I know it is. It's because it's the best. It's because it's the best, and because it works. And so like, she just owns it. She's bold about it. And then it changes people's mindset around of like, oh, like, I don't know. I have respect for that. Do you know what I mean? So more than just, no, it's not. You can, it's $3 a day. And I'm like, no, it is. And because it's the best.
Yeah. And I think that kind of the overarching theme of what we've been talking about is 1,000 or 10,000% belief. And that's what we were talking about yesterday during our power hour is we have to be bold and almost like louder than life on social media, because people are driving past the billboard on the freeway, and you're not going to, you have to like get the message out there in a bold way. And I think the same thing comes to, obviously the goal with posting is to have conversation. So it's not like you can just post and hope everyone comes to you and they're just going to click a link and you don't have to interact with them and like it's all automated. No, they're coming to you because they want your input, your brain space. What do I take? Your counsel on it. And I love that she's so bold and she's so confident, and she's very, very specific in what she says and how she trains, and the simplicity of the systems. But the biggest thing I think is belief. Belief equals momentum. Belief equals momentum. And so if we can if we have belief in what we're doing, what we're saying in ourselves personally, and it's learned, right? If you recognize that you're lacking belief, go listen to testimonies, go read some more stuff. If you have subliminal little thoughts in the back of your head, those will hinder you. And so recognize what those things are, address them however you need to, talk to a friend, go listen to videos, whatever that is, so that you can show up in your biggest, most beautiful, bold, belief-filled self as you're chatting with people. And I think the same thing goes for as we're getting people started on the products. And I was just telling my friend Jen, she called me last night at like 10:30, I think it was a little after 10, because she was like trying to navigate getting someone signed up on that ultimate weight loss pack. She's like, oh my word, blah, blah, blah. She thought she was signing them up as a retail customer, whatever. So, but anyways, when I got done, we were chatting about someone that just got started last week, and like the lady is so skeptical. I'm like, Jen, you see her several times a week in the gym. Just be excited. Like, be excited. Just keep talking with her. Keep talking, because she's skeptical. She wants all the things, like all the information and the sciencey details. And so I'm like, belief equals momentum. So I was just encouraging her to keep shaping and impacting her perspective.
And
Okay.
just her daily social media rules to live by, because this is like where we're attracting, right? We're recruiting. She's saying to post on both Facebook and Instagram each day. Do a reel each day. You can post the same reels on Instagram and on Facebook. Post daily in your main feed on Facebook, in addition to any reels you've brought over from Instagram. She says 2 times per week, those main feed Facebook posts need to be testimonials or posts about the business. Be bold and share your heart as much as possible. Change what people think and believe about MLMs and products you get from MLMs, and post in your stories daily. And then one thing that she talked about, although she's like, consistency trumps everything, is kind of like on your main post and Instagram, especially on your main wall, it's more like niche stuff. It's more, I don't even know if we all have a niche. I don't even know if I really have a niche, honestly, but in your stories is where you sell your product. She's like, that's how you'll get more followers in Instagram. if your goal on Instagram is to attract new followers outside of friends and family that already know you, it's beneficial to post in your niche on Instagram. You can still post about family, other activities or whatever, but your stories is where you sell and your main feed is where you post about niche.
Mm-hmm. And that's Instagram. But I appreciated that she said like Facebook is the cash cow. She's like, that is where things happen. And for me, that would ring true. Maybe some of you, some people come into Plexus with already a niched account on Instagram. But if that's not you, focus on Facebook. There's a bunch of people there that you are adding value to, you are impacting, you are posting to. And so don't overcomplicate or feel like you have to all of a sudden figure out a niche or whatever. Pray about it. God can give you something if that's the direction you're supposed to go. Otherwise, I would just focus on Facebook and remember that you cannot overpost. Go and listen to Jessica's podcast on that too.
Right. And she's like, stop stressing about what time of day and what day and when. She's like, just put your posts up. She's like, it's just a bot anyway. And who makes these rules? She's like, just post and don't stress about any of those things. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and I thought that was super encouraging as far as like, just do your thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, because I feel like the rules are always changing, and then people are overthinking and not getting content out there because they're so worried about whether, are my posts going to compete with each other or this or that? And it's like, nope, just no, Wild West, no rules. Kind of like how Jessica had us doing everything in the beginning. She was like 4 posts a day, and just put it out there. Get lots of post things that get interaction. I think that's the thing to remember is if you're not getting traction on stuff, look at how many likes and comments you're getting. If you're not getting very many, you gotta change something up. You need to be thinking, what can I post today to grow my business? What could I put out there that would add value to people, that would teach people, solve problems? So yeah. And like people were posting yesterday, call to comment posts that were brilliant. So even today, if you haven't made a post yet, go do that. I really liked I think it was Amber. Did you post the snow one?
I posted I think dating is dumb, unpopular opinion post. That got some.
Oh, don't be afraid of controversial things. All right. Do you guys have any questions? Let me change this to gallery view. No questions? All good? Okay, how are we doing with our listy list? Maybe some of you were only listening. Maybe some of you were piddling around with your IPA. The first thing is 10 comments on Plexus friends post. We're going to move along now to adding 2 new friends on Facebook. So we'll just power hour for the next 20 minutes. And we'll just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll just break those 6 steps down into just a few minutes apiece so that we get through the recipe for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to pipe them in. But is it helpful? Is it helpful to kind of hear verbiage and like a system or like a little checklist of things? I don't know. It helps my brain so much because it takes the overthinking or the question of like, am I doing it right? Takes it out because you're like, just follow the system.
I think it's helpful because I think that building the belief is everything, and acknowledging what they're thinking is so true. It's like, I thought the same thing. I just got to get over it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So some people like your suggestion, some people don't. I mean, but you planted a seed and it could still come back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fine.
I think you hit the nail on the head because figuring out what people are thinking and speaking to that's what has made Emily multimillionaire is because she's always thinking of what they're thinking and then speaking to that instead of trying to assume. I think and also not being afraid to ask questions. I think that concept of curiosity is the ace up our sleeves. We have to ask questions so we know what direction people are wanting to go,
Well, and if people are seeing your posts, if I speak for myself, it's like I knew that Plexus was out there. And then once I started thinking, hey, I think I'm actually interested right now, I'm just going to start actually reading the things that Megan's posting about, you know? And so I feel like I had my questions answered before, or I just knew and I just built my belief in advance, you know, so to speak, but not everybody is that way. And we need to help build their belief.
Mhm.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. I got to jump off to a couple of meetings. Thanks for hosting this, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
Bye. I have my timer going. So we're adding a new friend or friends. Just make sure they don't have mutual plexus friends. Okay. Now we have another 3 minutes. We're going to do a post, comment on a post in your favorite Facebook group, or make a post in your favorite Facebook group. I did a castor oil post in this modern alternative mamas group that I'm in, and this was in December, has 183 comments. So in my spare time, I need to go back through there and see if I can create some combos. But don't be afraid to make a post. And it can be like a lot of times people will actually put an eye-catching picture in there. So look through your photos and also think of a topic or something that you're actually truly curious about. Because I do want to learn more about castor oil packs because they're really cool. There's a lot of benefits to those. So anyways, be thinking creatively like, how can I add value or ask a legit question in this particular group that I'm in to generate conversation? Because this is like the how to win friends and influence people. Are you guys all doing that book study, hopefully, on Wednesdays? So good, but it's like we have to learn the art of connection, and you can learn it through social media. And it's not like you're not just doing it for the sake of selling to people. You're actually doing it to expand your own personal skill set of good communication, connection, and learning, because it's a mutual thing. We learn from other people, people learn from us, and connect that way. It's like a fun game. I remember Lisa Winters telling me that early on when she started Plexus. She's like, it's just like a fun game. And so even when we're learning new skills or doing something kind of uncomfortable that's outside of our comfort zone, it's still a good thing, right? Okay, now it's time to make a social media post and story. Okay, if you have not posted about the Slim Down Challenge, you need to go do that, because we need to be talking it up about the Slim Down Challenge for sure. You are not posting too much, you're not talking too much about it, because you never know how that one person will see it at just the right time. Same thing with your stories. Pop some stuff in your stories about that too. I did the prize post picture, so that might be a good thing to just pop in your stories today and put a poll with it. We're giving away a Ninja Creamy. Those are super fun. So if that's not interesting or fun to people, whatever, they may win cash or one of the other fun prizes. And I keep saying it's not too late. The entire 2 weeks of our Slim Down Challenge, people can enter in to it. They can get their they can get their order, and as soon as they order their Slim and Balance or whatever pack that they're doing, as long as it's Slim, HCBC, and Balance, they can be part of it. They can get added, and then they can start following along and entering to earn the prizes. And then the other thing is we are doing rinse, wash, repeat for February and March. So the plan is 2 resets in February, and then a Slim Down Challenge. So if they get in the first one and then they love it and want to keep going, they can do the next one with us also. So I just keep preaching, you're not too late, you're right on time.
I just had an epiphany.
Oh yeah, what's that? Share it. We want to know.
You guys may already do this, but it just dawned on me. Like, when you go on Instagram, because I was searching for adding friends on Instagram today, and I was like, there's no such thing as groups. So sometimes those accounts are larger. So I'm like, why don't I treat the larger accounts on Instagram like a group and go in there and comment on it just like I would in a group consistently? Because otherwise I feel like it just kind of gets lost. But I feel like, well, it does in a group too sometimes because they're so big. But that's my epiphany for today. It's like, why don't I treat big accounts like a Facebook group? So anyway, that was my mentality around it, because I feel like when they're really big, you feel like your comments don't get seen, and what's the point? That was my thought anyway. So I'm like, oh, they're a Facebook group. So that was my change thought today.
Awesome. Also, on your stories, I would challenge you to go save some of the videos from the live testimony thread that we have. And we also have a business one as well. And so make sure you're in that so you can save those, and then go into your video folder on Facebook from your stories and upload them like have at least one of those stories sharing every day in your stories. So I'm actually going to pop the Dr. Hartman one from Super Saturday. It's in the thread, so you can grab it.
Where did you say it was, Megan?
It's in the threads I posted yesterday. I think I can repost it so that you guys can save it. Because that's, oh, it says it's too long, shoot. Um, hmm. Facebook must be weird some days because I posted it in my new customer chat. Let me see if I can forward it to the chats again. Let me see. Okay, I think it worked that time. Okay, start a product conversation. So if you haven't done that yet, go do that. I'm actually going to throw a testimony video into my new customer chat. So if you have not popped something in your customer chat, if you have one, I would go do that. Okay, start an opportunity conversation. And this is what's interesting. When you're consistent about doing this thing, you will think of people. So last night I was scrolling and saw someone that I commented on her post and was like, oop, I'm going to reach out to her today about the business. Okay, and lastly, 1 minute left, a follow-up about this. Okay, guys, that's a wrap. Thank you very much for popping on. We'll get the recording up. I guess those that listen to the recording get a little bonus power half hour if they want it. So happy Tuesday. We'll meet back here tomorrow at 7:30 for part 2 of Ignite training. And I will also work to get those PDFs up if you guys want to print those out. I think it will help make more sense and also help you remember and retain the things that we're talking about from those calls. So okie doke, take care. See you all soon.